Hi, this is Tanya Weir and welcome to the Spunky Stamping Corner. I'm really thrilled that you're joining me today for this cute punch art ballerina card that is really easy, and I've been in love with it since the first time I saw it. It's not one of my original creations, but I'm going to show you one of my tricks that helps me put this together very easily. Of course, you need a cardstock base. And I have already prepared mine. This is Concord Crush, and I've run it through the Big Shot with a framed tulips embossing folder. And then we need some leaves or a skirt. And this here is the Build a Blossom Punch. It is darling. It has a matching stamp set. And I want you to cut out as many leaves or petals with a very big one as you would like. I have cut mine out of vellum, and I have 3. And the skirt looks adorable with 3 or 4, but that's up to everybody's taste. So the first time I built mine, I lined up my torso, and oh, let me show you how we did that. So the torso in this card is with a round tab punch. You just punch a piece of designer series paper. Mine is the Flirtatious specialty paper, and punch that out. And then we need a neckline, and the neckline is done with the 3/4 inch punch. And what you do is you eyeball your center. You can also mark it if you would like to, but the first time you get your center just like you want it, if you are going into mass production, it would be very easy to grab the piece that you like, turn it around so it's a different color, and use this as your guide. Look how I can see. So I'm punching right here. And I have a pretty torso. So, like I was saying, the very first time I made my card, I lined up my torso, and then I decided where I wanted my leaves to be. And then I had to hold them in place while I moved my torso to glue them on, and I wasn't allowed to wiggle, so I needed to get my glue in there. And as you can tell in this card, I wasn't very good about my snail, and you can even see it shining through. This was one of my very first ones. So I thought there had to be a simpler way, so I would like my torso to be right here. So what I did is I am adding an extra step. This is half a torso cut out of some other designer series paper. I'm going to take my snail, and I would like my skirt to be right here. I am marking the center down here, putting some snail right there, and then I'm going to take this and adhere it, and it will later be covered by my top piece. Having this here will be awesome because now we can use this as our guide for our petals, because I know exactly where my skirt is starting and ending. And put this here in the center. And the other cool thing is, I know exactly where my snail is because the snail is on that piece. So I don't end up with any extra snail below my skirt. Isn't that awesome? Very cool. Now, if you look in my original card, most people, when you hop other blogs, will have ribbon right there. I wanted something even thinner. If you use 1/4 inch ribbon, your card will look adorable. I'm going to show you how I did this with paper. So I have a very thin strip of Melon Mambo cardstock, and this itself is still too thick and too stubborn to tie. So I am working this just as if I am curling wrapping ribbon for gift wrapping. And as I'm curling this, you will notice that the layers of paper separate. And can you see it already a little bit there? How this is separating? And as soon as it starts to separate, oh, very nicely, I can peel it apart. Now the first couple of times you try this, you're going to end up tearing your paper because you will not have worked it hard enough. But the more you work it, the more pliable your paper will be, and then you can do this. So this is actually 2 pieces of paper. One that will wrap around the ribbon, and the other one to tie your loop. So I'm actually going to use whichever one is curlier, and I'm going to begin tying a knot. There we go, like so. And as you pull it, be mindful that this is paper, even though we're pretending that it's ribbon. Now my hole is pretty tight, or getting there, and I'm going to stick this through. And there we go. This is tight enough. It doesn't have to be super tight because you will rip it, and then I just push it down. Now I'm going to go ahead and curl this just a little bit more. And some of the paper will curl a ton, others will not as much. Paper has personality, and it depends on your humidity level and how much curling you've done. And sometimes the paper doesn't want to at all, and then I just have to take a new one. And so that's almost ready. So here is, let's see, what shall we do, purple or pink? Let's go with purple so you can see it better. That'll give us a nice contrast. So I want it to be about there. So on the back side I'm going to put down some snail. Then I decide where I want my knot, either left or right. And then I just bend this backwards. And as I bend these pieces backwards, they snick to the snail that we just put back there. And then I grab my paper snips, cut it off. And we are all ready. And this frayed a little bit, so I'm going to trim some of that. Or not, it's tucking in. I like it. Then I'm going to grab a Stampin' Dimensional and put that on the back here. And I'm ready to stick this on my card. There we go. And now to jazz it up a little bit, we're going to take some rhinestone pearls or rhinestone jewels, lift them off with your paper snips, and place them one on the center of the torso, and then one on the bottom of each of the skirt leaves. And there it is, a beautiful ballerina card. I hope you enjoyed this, and feel free to stop by my blog anytime, www.spunkycards.com. Make sure you're on my mailing list for the latest tips and suggestions, and thanks for watching.